Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual results from CGC. This video is going to be the first of 3 videos that I'm going to make featuring the 12 books that are in this box right here. These 12 books come to us from good friend to the channel, Octavio, who has once again made his books available to us so that we can all practice our comic book grading skills. Thank you so much, Octavio, as always, for making these books available to all of us. For those of you who haven't seen my Test Your Comic Book Grading Skills videos before, thank you so much for coming and checking this out today. There's a lot more of this content on my channel, so I invite you to look at more of my videos after you've watched this one. But what we do in these videos is I show you a video that I made of these books when they were raw, before they got sent off to CGC. We look at that video and we assess the books for any flaws, any damage, anything that might impact the grade negatively. Then we give our best guess as to what we think the grade might be. You keep yours in your brain and I share mine with you. Once we have our guesses, we do the unboxing. We take a look at the actual results from CGC and we compare our guesses to them. If we nailed the grade, good for us. We're doing something very, very right. And if we're off, that's fine as well, because what it does is it provides us with an opportunity to learn. We can take a look at the grader's notes if there are any, and we can at least keep the grade in mind as we go back and look at the video of the books when they were raw and reassess and see if we can't adjust our grading criteria so that we make sure that our guesses more closely match CGC's in the future. So let's go ahead right now and take a look at the first 4 books that we'll be talking about from this box when they were raw. All right, first up we have Batman issue 313. This is the first appearance of Tim Fox, the son of Lucius Fox, and he becomes the next Batman. First off, we take a look at the spine here. You can see right away there is damage. There are flaws. There are some color-breaking spine ticks. There's a bit of a tear there adjacent to the barcode. I'm sure you can see it. The corner's got a little bit of a ding. But yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted about 8 color-breaking spine ticks there. Nothing major, but definitely present and not to be ignored. The rest of this book actually looks pretty good, all things considered. That other corner looks good. This corner down here looks good. The edges look pretty good. The color looks good. I don't see any color rub or staining or anything like that. All in all, I think it's a pretty good looking book. Here on the back, it's also pretty good looking. That's a nice corner there. This edge looks pretty good there. Now, the thing that threw me off the most about this book is this corner. You see that corner? It's a bit frayed. I'm going to show you here. That frayedness goes all the way, not all the way, but through many pages in this book. Now, here's a question for you to ask yourselves. Is that a damage? Because it's probably not something that happened to the book post, purchase. Probably something that was on the book when it was manufactured. So is it a manufacturing flaw? Will it hurt the grade? I don't know. Otherwise, this book looks really good. Because of that, I'm going to have to go with an 8.0. Next up, we have another copy of Batman 313. You'll see right away, this has color-breaking spine ticks, just like the first one. At first glance, it looks like there's actually fewer of them, but it does have that same tear right there opposite the barcode. That's interesting that more than one copy has that, but let's check this out. So yeah, there are color-breaking spine ticks in there, fewer than the last book. This one actually looks pretty decent and slightly better than the previous one. Possibly a little bit of color rub and problems there along the top and the top edge there in that darkness. The edge looks pretty good. The corner looks okay. You can see the interior pages a little bit there. That is not going to be a problem for the grade. But all in all, it looks pretty good on the front. The back is where we are going to have something interesting to talk about. There may be a little bit of tanning there along the edge, but mostly a pretty sharp edge. Yeah, there's definitely some tanning there towards the bottom of the edge. But you see that stain right there? That stain right there? That is going to hurt the grade. And you can see the flip side of all the color-breaking spine ticks that are on the front. In fact, they're kind of easier to see on the back to a certain degree. But it's that stains. Stains are deadly to grades, just like tears. Since this has a stain, I'm going to go with a 7.5. Next up, we have, it's another copy of Batman 313. Yes, there are going to be 3 of them in this video. This one has a slight miswrap. We're going to use that as a way to identify this book. There's a little bit of a problem there next to the lampshade. There's some color-breaking spine ticks here along the spine. That one where the tear had been adjacent to the barcode on the other ones, it's not a tear, but it's a nice long tear, staple tear kind of thing. There's a little bit of discoloration. It's not so great, not so bad either. Maybe a little bit more of that color rub there along the top and along the edge. Maybe it looks a little yellowed along the edge, but there's also, it looks like slight little color breaking type of creases in there. Just to be clear, the miswrap is not going to hurt the grade. It never will hurt the grade. Just wanted to point that out. The back of this book looks pretty good as well. That edge looks good. There's maybe a little bit of tanning, not like the last book, but just the slightest bit. Now, there's definitely something going on here along the spine. You can see how it's a little bit yellowed. That is going to be problematic to the grade. That bit at the top, I think, is, ink kind of spill. All in all, it's a good-looking book, but I'm going to give it a 7.5. And finally, we have the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 201. This is the first appearance of Kilowog. This is a really nice-looking book. I like this book a lot. Now, you can see there, you see where the letters, the Staten and Patterson 86 are. It looks pretty white there. But as you go along that same section up the spine here, it does potentially look a little bit less white. That might hurt the grade. Books with a white cover like this are going to show that kind of aging very clearly, and it makes it very difficult to get the highest grades possible, 9/8, 9/9, 10s for books like this. Not impossible, but difficult. I'm not quite sure. As a reminder, 9/8 can have flaws. So will that slight discoloration take it out of the 9/8 category? Possibly. I don't see any other problems with this book other than maybe the slight discoloration in the front. It looks really good. Edges are sharp, corners are good. That corner's good enough. Is there a little bit of yellowing there along the spine? I don't know. Is that a little bit of foxing there in the white? Maybe. Man, I'm going to be optimistic with this book because I really want it to be a 9.8, but we're going to have to see about it. All right, so you have seen the first 4 books from the submission that we are going to be talking about today. You've had the opportunity to look at them when they were raw, you've assessed them, and now you have your guess as to what you think the grade should be. I have told you what I think the grade should be. Now let's find out what the actual results are from CGC. I'm going to put this down on the floor. Now, I want to kind of organize the books in these videos in a particular way. So I am going to try to not necessarily pull them out at random. I'm going to pull them out specifically. I know all the grades are right down the middle, so I can kind of cover up the middle, and so that I don't spoil seeing the grade in advance. But of course, I'm not cheating. Because 1, I'm not interested in cheating, and 2, I've already told you in this video what I think the grades are, so cheating would not be so great. They're also all written down on this piece of paper right here. So let's go ahead and dig in. And one thing I'll just remind everybody of, once again, is that I am not a professional grader. I am not professing to be an expert in any way, shape, or form. I am just trying to learn. And I was looking for this type of content on YouTube and I couldn't find it, so I decided to make it my own. So I'm sharing my learning journey with all of you. Okay, so as expected, I like to show people in the videos how these things are packed. And so this is packed pretty well. In this type of box, they are all standing upright. Oftentimes they have a piece of cardboard like you see here on the side, on top. I've noticed recently they are starting to do bubble wrap instead of this piece of cardboard on top. Either one seems fine to me. So I don't have a problem with this. And there's probably some cardboard in here that's filling extra space. Yes, this box is bigger. This box, I believe, can hold up to 15 slabs. There's some bubble wrap in here that's filling that extra space. But let me cover up the grades. I don't want to see the grades. I just want to see the names. Great. Okay, wonderful. So what I want to do first is I want to do the DC books, which you already know I've pulled out. So that is this one. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it face down. Sorry to make you sit and watch me prep this, but I like to do all of these things on camera right in front of all y'all, so that you know, this is backwards, right? Yeah. So that you know that I'm trying to do this with the highest amount of integrity. I think that's the most fun, and integrity is a big deal to me. So I don't want to, like, I don't know, lie to you and pretend to be better at this than I am. All right, first up, we're going to look at our first of 3 copies of Batman 313. Now, I don't know which one is which, but I do know that I gave them 2 of them grades of 7.5 and 1 of them a grade of 8.0. Let's see which grade this first one got. All right, you see the grade. Now let me see what it got. A 9.2. Wow. Okay, so a 9.2 is way better than even the highest grade that I gave it in an 8.0. So I was very, very wrong. And once again, I'm okay with that. In a lot of ways, me being so wrong is kind of embarrassing because I'm making a video about grading and I'm sticking my neck out there and I'm saying it's an 8.0 and it came back at 9.2, so I was very wrong. I was very wrong in the way I want to be wrong, meaning that I gave it a lower grade than it actually got. But this is once again a great opportunity because there's times where I look at books in my collection and I'm like, I want this book to come back at 9.0 or higher, but I look at it and it's like, I don't think it's going to, but sometimes I'm wrong. So this gives me an opportunity to get much, much better at this. And seeing it in its case, at first glance, I don't know what I was thinking with the 8.0. This book looks really, really great at first glance in the case. So I might have been a little bit hard on this book. And that's okay. Once again, I would much rather be hard on a book than too easy on a book in general. But most importantly, this is a good opportunity for me to learn, and learning is what it's all about here. Okay, so this is the second copy of Batman 313, following the logic of my overgrading, which, like I don't think I said this, I used to really overgrade, and I've started realizing that I'm a little bit too hard on books, and this is another example. So maybe this one is a 9.0, but according to my notes, it should either be a 7.5 or an 8.0. So let's see what grade this book got. My grades for them, myself, they were so close to each other, I'm assuming it's much closer to 9.2 than it is to 7.5. So let's see what that grade is. 7.5. Okay, well, so I got this one right. That's really interesting because I went 7.5, 8.0, 7.5 basically with my guesses, and I got one right, and I was way off with the other one. So this is going to be something that I'm definitely going to go back and take a better look at and try to figure out what I was thinking. I'm assuming right now that this 7.5 is one of the 7.5s that I assigned, and that the 9.2 probably belongs to the one that I thought was an 8.0. But we won't know that for sure ever, basically. I'll do my best to try, like I said, to line up which one was which. But let's see with this last one. Let's see if I went 7.5, 7.5, 8.0, and right now I have a 7.5 and a 9.2, I'd have to guess that this one, this last copy of this is either going to be a 7.5 or an 8.0. So let's see what it is. Okay, you've seen it. Now let me see it. A 7.5. Okay, so I did okay. I did okay. I actually nailed the grade on 2 of them, in that I thought they would get 7.5s and they got 7.5s. I guess what happened is with this last one, this 9.2 is the one I thought was going to be an 8.0. So I'm really happy to be right about 2 of them and really confused about being so wrong on the 3rd. But once again, I was wrong in the right direction. So I will take it and learn from it. And finally, let's see. Yeah, we have Green Lantern issue number 201. It's the first appearance of Kilowog right there. This is a really nice book. Now, this all-white cover is unforgiving when it comes to dust and dirt and anything kind of grime, stains, all that different stuff. But even still, I thought it was a 9.8, and 9.8s are tough to get in books like this. So let's see. And I don't give out 9.8s lightly. If I see any flaws, I'd go 9.6. So let's see. Did it get the 9.8 I anticipated? Okay, you know. Now let me see. 9.6. Okay, so that I wasn't so far off, so it's not like night and day far off. I'm very curious to see what the problem might be with this book. I'm definitely going to go back to the video and of the book in this book in the raw, see if I can find anything that could possibly be considered a flaw, because that must be why it got a 9.6. In addition, these books now these days have these QR codes on the back that take you directly to the grader's notes, if there are any. Of course, I'll be sharing that with you as these books pop up. You've probably already seen them. I probably already popped up grader's notes if there were any to share. But that being said, as far as grader's notes are concerned, I find more and more that they are incomplete and not very helpful when they are provided, and that there are multiple instances where they're just not provided at all. So grader's notes to me are trivia more than they are helpful. So take them with a grain of salt. All right, so those are the first 4 books we're going to be talking about from this submission. We got 8 more to go through that we'll be going through in the next 2 videos. So if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. That's the best way to get informed for when I put out the videos for the rest of this submission. If you like this content, you're learning something, likes are appreciated by me. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.